Hey y'all, this is something new. I'm going live to our group. We continue our study of the elements of focus, the elements of flow, by looking at number 2, most important element besides number 1, the breath, would be focus. In the Yoga Sutras, it is said that the 2 qualities of a strong yoga practice are sthira and sukha, steadiness and joy. So today we're going to examine the steadiness through a standing balance. Seems a little ironic because it will not be moving, it will not be flowing, but we need to practice that focus element in a quiet way so that we will have the focus when we are moving. Okay. Additionally, I am about to go on a car trip, and I think I'm going to show you how to prep your hips for a extended sit down in a car. Okay, so let us go over to the mat and begin. We're going to start on our hands and knees. Okay, I've got a little bit of a blanket here to pad underneath my knees. So I'm going to come into hands and knees position. My knees are hip width apart, and my hands are spread out nice and wide. My fingers are facing forward. My hands are right underneath my shoulders. And I'm going to do what we've been practicing, which is combine breath with movement. So we're going to inhale, lifting the head and the tailbone. I'm going to exhale, dropping the chin, rounding the spine. Inhale this way. Exhale that way. Inhale. Exhale. Keep going. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's bring it back to the center. And let's walk our hands a little bit forward. Let's take our hips forward so that we're in a half plank. So our knees are on the ground, our toes are tucked. We've got our low belly hugging in. We're going to take a breath right here. And as we exhale, we're going to press back toward child's pose. Inhale, half plank. Exhale, back. Inhale. Exhale. Keep going. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale back up to hands and knees position. So you're either going to go back to what we just did, the half plank to child's pose, or you're going to come up into full plank with the knees off the floor. We're going to go plank to down dog. So take a breath here. Exhale up into down dog, and let's just pause in this first one. You're likely to be pretty tight, so let's just take a few cycles. Let's just alternately bend our knees, drop that head down. Okay, let's bring it back down to the ground, bring your knees down. Just rock back a little bit. I want you to take your hands off the floor, take a couple of wrist circles. I want you to bend your wrists forward and back, and wiggle those fingers out. Okay, so we're going to come back into our plank. Inhale, and as we exhale, we go to down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, forward. Exhale, making contact with that core. Inhale, forward, keep it engaged. Exhale, the low belly initiates that lift of the hips. Inhale, forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale forward one more time, and bring our knees down. Let's rock to child's pose. Just take a breath or two right there. Stretch your arms out. Wiggle your fingers. Maybe move your hands and wrists a little bit. We're going to come into our lunging position next. So if you have blocks, you'll place them on either side of the mat. You'll use those blocks to give your hands a little bit of height in case that lunge is super tight. So we're going to come up into our hands and knees. I'll step forward right. And I'm going to scooch my right foot far enough forward so that as my hips move forward, my knee ends up right over my ankle. I've got my fingertips on the floor. We're going to move into and then back. Into, inhale, exhale, pull back. So we go hamstring, hip flexor. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, Exhale. Let's inhale back forward into a lunge position. Let's take our hands up to our knees. You can leave your hands down if you want. If you want to reach your arms up, you can. And reach up toward the ceiling. Move those hips forward. Hey. All right. Let's exhale our hands back down. Sorry. Let's back it up. Let's take our knees together and come into child's pose. Back up into hands and knees. We'll take our other foot forward, placing our blocks if we're using them. So if I'm a block user, I've got my hands on my blocks. Maybe I even go to a higher position, depends on how much height I need, how tight I'm feeling. And we're going to inhale forward. We want to check our knee position as we move to our furthest point. And exhale, we back out, leaning down over our front leg. Inhale and exhale. So different people's legs are going to go to a different degree, right? Some people may end up keeping quite a bent knee here, and that's okay. We want to listen to our body. It's going to tell you how far you get to go. Exhale. Let's keep the breath smooth and steady. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's move it forward into our lunging position. And this is where we prepare to maybe take our hands off the floor. Maybe our hands go to the knee. We lift our upper body. We hug our low belly in. We open the chest. Maybe we reach up. Maybe we even reach back a little bit toward the wall behind us. You can try an alternate arm position of arms low, reaching back and breathing there. Just as long as we're not feeling any pinches in our low back, we know we're in the right place. And let's exhale, bringing our hands back down. We'll rock our hips back. We'll take our knees together and stretch it out into child's pose. So let's come back into hands and knees. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my blanket and flip it so it gives me a little bit of a cushion. I personally don't necessarily need this, but I know a lot of people do when they're sitting on the floor. So this just gives our seat a little bit of height so that we don't feel pinchy in our hips. So we're going to come to sit, and you have an option. Your left leg could be straight, or your left knee could be quite bent. We're going to cross our left knee with our right foot, and we're going to place the sole of that right foot flat on the ground. I'm going to hold on to my right knee with my right hand, and inhaling, I'll reach up, up, up with my left. As I exhale, I have a choice here. I can either cross my left elbow to the outside of the right knee, or I can hook my elbow around the right knee and hug my knee in. They both feel, they're just a question of degree. They both have good things to offer. Let's take our right hand to the floor behind us, up on your fingertips probably. Let's lift our spine nice and tall, and just turn your head to look back over your right shoulder, okay? So I'm looking at you, but you're looking back over that right shoulder. You're rolling your right shoulder open, you're sliding your right shoulder blade, towards your spine. You're hugging your low belly in, and most importantly, you're breathing. Inhaling 2, exhale, inhale 3, exhale. Now let's take a breath in to exit the pose. Inhale, exhale, the eyes turn forward first. We release our back hand. We gently come out of the twist and into a little bit of a counter pose. And we come back to the center. So we're going to cross our legs the opposite way, but first we're going to reset our back. So just take your right foot out, your left foot out. Your knees are bent and you just drape forward over both legs. So far, so good, huh? Let's come on back up. Okay, so this time our right knee goes to the ground, and it's either going to be straight out in front of you or quite bent. Our left foot crosses over to the outside of the right knee. The sole of that foot stays flat. We want to sit up over our 2 sitting bones. We want to have our low belly hugging in. We'll inhale our right arm up as we hold that left knee. Exhaling, we're either going to hook the knee or cross the knee with the elbow. Place the left hand on the ground behind you. So your thumb is going to be closest to you, behind you. Your fingers are turned away from you. You turn your head to look over your left shoulder, keeping your spine upright, breathing here, and exhaling. Inhale 2, exhale, inhale 3, exhale, inhale 4, exhale, eyes come forward, release your front elbow, and take a little counter pose, coming back to center. We'll uncross our legs. We'll take a breath in. We'll exhale, draping forward, dropping our head down. And just let your low back reorient itself to its nice, long, neutral position. And inhale your way back up. Okay, we're going to come to stand. So come to stand any way you want, but if you want to make it fun, you can come around onto hands and knees, get your blanket out of the way. You are going to need your blocks here in a second. And we can come into down dog. Look forward at the space between the hands, and if you want, you can step or you can hop your feet forward. Inhale, lift up to lengthen your spine and hug your low belly in real strong. Exhaling, you can fold over the legs, trying out a nice deep forward fold. If you know that deep forward folds are not good for your back, just skip this one, okay? Now, as we rise up, we're going to soften our knees some. We're going to plant down through our feet, and we're going to inhale, taking our arms out, up, and overhead. And as we exhale, we'll bring our hands down to prayer pose with the thumbs right in the center of the heart. Okay, so let's release our arms down. So here's what we're going to do with our blocks. You may not need them, but you might. So we're going to put one on either side of us. We're going to stand right in between, and we're going to take our arms out to the side. Remember this one that we did last time? We cross our left over our right. We grab our shoulders. Maybe we stop here. Maybe we can stretch out our left arm and press down into the right elbow as the right elbow presses up. Maybe that's where you go. Or maybe you spiral your hands all the way around. Let me come show you what it looks like up close, like this. If you want to back out of the stretch, you turn your pinky to the right. And if you want to back into the stretch, you turn your pinky forward. These are eagle arms. We're going to add the legs. Okay, so here we stand. We have our eagle arms. We have our left over our right, which means that for the legs, we're going to bend both knees. That means our right is going to cross over our left. So maybe cross over and tap your right toes onto that block. Keep your left knee bent. Try to keep your hips from turning to the left. So you want them straight ahead. If it helps you to release the arms while you're getting used to the legs, feel free to just have your arms out here or even at the waist, okay? If you're feeling pretty good so far, maybe you take your right toes off the block, and if you can really tuck those right toes around behind that left ankle, then feel free, and you would be in full eagle pose, Garudasana. So take a breath in, and if you feel like going farther, you're going to bend both your knees. You're going to pick a spot on the floor, focus on it, and turn it into a forward fold, hooking your elbows over the outside of the knee. When you're ready to come up, you inhale up, undo your legs, undo your arms, stretch them out and reach. Okay, good one, right? Okay, so we've got our blocks ready for the other side. We can reach our arms out. This time, right goes over left. We're either holding shoulders, we're stretching right arm out, pressing into left as the left elbow presses up, or we're spiraling our hands around, taking our left fingers to the right thumb pad. I'll show you that up close too. See, my fingers are grabbing my thumb pad like that as I come into it. You could have your fingers be straight, but they're more or less going to meet the thumb pad, okay? So we've got right over left. We're in position. We're going to start by bending both our knees, lifting our left heel, okay? Get your weight solid over your right foot. We're going to cross our left toes over and find that block. Maybe we stay here and we breathe. Maybe we come to just the very top tippity tip of the left big toe on that block. Or maybe we lift the toe from the block and breathe there. Maybe we curl our toes behind the ankle. Ooh. And maybe we come forward into our forward fold, bringing our elbows over the knee, trying to keep our focus and our breath smooth and steady. Remember, we inhale as we slowly rise up, and we come out in the reverse order that we came in on. And let's just bend both of our knees and just stand and breathe for a second. checking in, see how you feel after that challenging balance. And the advantage that you have is that you can do it by the wall. You can touch the wall. You can have one elbow just gently on the wall for stability. You can have a chair beside you. You can use your blocks. And you don't have to talk while you're trying to balance. So good luck with it. I do hope that you will set your timer for relaxation. Come down onto your back and bring your knees into your chest and hug them in for a second just to reset your back. And then find yourself in a nice, comfortably supported position on the floor. Set your timer and take some relaxation. Give your body a chance to integrate all of what you just taught it. Okay, so happy times, and I'll see y'all later. Let me know how you're doing.